Welcome back to Golden Wellness Daily. You went to bed feeling just fine. No pain, no dizziness, no warning. But by morning, something is off. Your hand won't grip the coffee mug. Your words don't sound right. One side of your face feels heavy. And just like that, your world shifts. I'm a brain doctor, and I've seen this moment far too many times. Not in people who smoked or drank or ignored their health, but in people just like you. People who did everything right, who ate clean, followed the rules, believed in healthy food. But here's the part no one warns you about. What if I told you that the very vegetables you've trusted for decades, the ones you've praised as superfoods, could quietly, silently, raise your stroke risk overnight? No, this isn't a scare tactic. It's a physiological reality I've witnessed again and again, especially in people over 60, especially when their bodies start to change the rules without ever sending a clear signal. Because after 60, your brain isn't just older, it's more vulnerable, more reactive, more easily thrown off balance by things that once seemed harmless. And sometimes, the thing that tips it over the edge is a food you believed was healing you. That's why this isn't just another food video. It's a warning born of experience. And it could save you, or someone you love, from the morning that changes everything. So before your next bite, stay with me. What you learn next might just protect your independence, your memory, even your life. Let's pause for a moment, not to panic, but to understand. Because understanding is the first step to protecting your brain. After 60, your brain doesn't just get older, it becomes more sensitive, more delicate, and more reactive to tiny changes in your body that once didn't matter. Why? Because aging quietly rewrites the rules. Your blood vessels lose their stretch. They stiffen, like old garden hoses left in the sun. Your kidneys slow down, making it harder to flush out minerals like calcium and sodium. Your blood, it thickens slightly, especially if you're even mildly dehydrated. And that happens more often than you think, particularly at night. Now, combine that with sleep. As you rest, your blood pressure naturally dips. That's normal. But just before dawn, it rises again, sometimes too fast. That sudden swing? It can dislodge a clot, send it straight to your brain, and you never see it coming. There's no pain, no pounding heart, just subtle signs. A little dizziness, fingers that feel numb, words that don't come easily. Most people brush it off as aging. But what if it wasn't? What if, instead of saying, "I'm just getting older," we said, "My brain is asking for help"? Because instead of pushing through, we could adapt. Instead of eating like we did at 40, we could learn what supports us at 70. And instead of living on autopilot, we could tune in, slow down, and protect what matters most: our clarity, our balance, our voice. After all, it's not just about food. It's about creating the conditions where your brain can thrive. 3.1. Spinach, the superfood that can backfire. You've been told your whole life to eat your greens, and spinach? It's the poster child for health. Packed with iron, calcium, and antioxidants, people throw it in smoothies, toss it into salads, blend it into powders. But after 60, your body doesn't process spinach the same way it did at 30. Here's why. Spinach is high in oxalates, natural compounds that bind with calcium. For a healthy young adult with strong kidney function, this isn't usually a problem. But if your kidneys are slowing down, and many do after 60, oxalates can start to accumulate, quietly, gradually. Imagine pouring fine sand through a pipe each night. At first, It flows, but over time, it collects, clogs, slows down everything. That's what oxalates can do inside your arteries, especially the tiny vessels feeding your brain. And the symptoms? Not always dramatic. Maybe you feel a little foggy in the morning. Maybe your hand trembles just enough to spill your coffee. But then one day, you can't grip the mug at all. I had a patient, Mary Ellen, 74. Every night, she blended spinach with banana and almond milk. She thought it was feeding her brain. But one morning, she couldn't speak. A minor stroke. Her labs showed high oxalates, early kidney trouble, and signs of vascular inflammation. She looked at me and said, "I thought I was doing everything right." That's the trap. Instead of raw spinach every night, steam it lightly. Rotate your greens. Give your kidneys a break. Because feeding your brain isn't just about nutrients. It's about knowing how your body handles them. Today, not 10 years ago. 3.2. Cucumber, the light snack that dehydrates you overnight. It's cool, it's crisp, it's refreshing, and it's often the go-to for anyone watching their weight or trying to eat clean. Cucumber seems harmless, but timing changes everything. Cucumbers are natural diuretics. That means they gently encourage your body to release fluids, mostly through urine. During the day, that's helpful. But late at night, it can quietly dehydrate you without you realizing it. Why does that matter? Because as we age, we lose our ability to regulate hydration efficiently. You don't feel as thirsty, but your brain still needs water. Blood thickens, vessels tighten, and that little dip in hydration, it can be enough to trigger an overnight stroke. Dolores, 81, thought she was doing the right thing. Light dinner, a few cucumber slices before bed, and her blood pressure meds. But she kept waking up dizzy, slurred her speech one morning. Mini stroke, no junk food, no smoking, just cucumbers, and timing. Instead of a nighttime cucumbers, try hydration earlier in the day. And eat high-water veggies with lunch. Not right before bed. Because helping your heart means working with your body's rhythms, not against them. 3.3. Broccoli. When clean eating stresses your thyroid. Broccoli is a darling of health food culture. Antioxidants, fiber, cancer-fighting compounds. It's praised by doctors and magazines alike, so how could it possibly be risky? Here's the catch. Broccoli and other cruciferous vegetables like kale and Brussels sprouts contain goitrogens. These compounds can interfere with thyroid function, especially if eaten raw in large amounts. Now, if your thyroid is strong, it might not matter. But many seniors, especially women, have underactive thyroids and don't even know it. That matters because your thyroid helps regulate your heartbeat, blood pressure, and body temperature. When it slows, your entire system slows. Blood flow decreases. Your brain gets less oxygen. Ruth, 76, loved her green smoothies. She added raw broccoli daily. Over time, she became forgetful. Her hands tingled. She moved slower. Tests showed low thyroid levels and sluggish circulation. Was broccoli the enemy? No, but too much, raw, and too often? It tipped the balance. Instead of raw broccoli, steam it. That neutralizes the goitrogens. And mix up your greens. Variety keeps your body balanced, because sometimes health is less about doubling down and more about knowing when to ease up. 3.4. Garlic, the natural medicine that can thin your blood too far. Garlic has a long-standing reputation as a heart helper. It supports circulation, reduces cholesterol, acts as a mild blood thinner. And in many ways, that's true. But after 60, many people are already taking blood thinners, aspirin, Plavix, warfarin. And garlic? It can double the effect. Allicin, the active compound in raw garlic, makes blood platelets less sticky. That sounds good, until your blood gets so thin it can't clot when it needs to. Clara, 84, started taking 2 raw garlic cloves every night, hoping to stay young. She felt great, until she collapsed brushing her hair. No fall, no injury, just a vessel that couldn't hold. Her blood was too thin. She survived, but now needs full-time care. She told me, "I thought I was being smart. I didn't know food could act like medicine." Until it did. That's the key. Instead of daily raw garlic, ask your doctor, especially if you're on meds. And if you use garlic, cook it. That softens its effect. Because food can be medicine, but even medicine needs a proper dose. 3.5. Eggplant, the nightshade that can quietly tighten your blood flow. Eggplant, beautiful, deep purple, a Mediterranean favorite, low in calories, high in antioxidants. But here's what most people don't know. Eggplant belongs to the nightshade family, along with tomatoes, potatoes, and peppers. These contain solanine, a compound that, in sensitive individuals, can cause vasoconstriction. That means the blood vessels tighten, restricting flow. Not everyone reacts, but some do, and they don't realize it until symptoms show up. Frances, 82, loved her eggplant parmesan, made it twice a week. Over time, her fingers got cold, her legs heavy. She brushed it off as arthritis, until the morning she couldn't lift her right arm. Small stroke, no diabetes, no high cholesterol, but blood tests showed inflammation and markers of nightshade sensitivity. Again, eggplant wasn't the sole cause, but it played a quiet role. If you love eggplant, don't panic. Cook it well, don't overuse it. And if you notice strange symptoms, brain fog, headaches, cold extremities, consider rotating it out. Because even beauty on a plate can have a hidden edge. By now, you might be asking, if even vegetables can backfire, what's left? That's a fair question. And the answer isn't about giving up. It's about adapting. Because after 60, your body doesn't want complicated. It wants stability. It wants food that supports, not overwhelms, that nourishes without confusion. Let me tell you about Margaret. She's 73, a retired school principal. She came to me frustrated. She had cut out sugar, processed food, and even meat. Every night was a green smoothie with garlic, spinach, and powdered superfoods. But every morning, dizziness, anxiety, a racing heart. Her blood pressure spiked before sunrise. Her thoughts were cloudy. Her energy crashed by mid-morning. So we did something radical. We simplified. Instead of powders and raw greens, we built a breakfast grounded in balance. 1 boiled egg for clean protein, half an avocado for healthy fats, a slice of whole grain toast to steady blood sugar, a handful of blueberries for antioxidants, and a glass of room temperature water to rehydrate gently after sleep. Some mornings we added walnuts, or a spoonful of oats, or a piece of salmon. Within 3 weeks, her brain felt clear again. Her pressure evened out. She woke up calm. Not magic, not supplements, just food that respected her age and honored her biology. So, what should you eat? Think warm, think simple, think timing. Cook your vegetables. Eat more of them earlier in the day. Save lighter meals for dinner. Soups, stews, gently steamed greens. Drink most of your water by early evening. Give your brain a gentle landing overnight. Instead of chasing superfoods, chase what feels steady. Instead of piling on powders, come back to real meals. Instead of eating like you're 40, eat for who you are now. Wise, experienced, still growing. Because eating wisely isn't about restriction. It's about remembering what your body truly needs. Rhythm, simplicity, care. After everything we've talked about, the spinach, the garlic, the eggplant, you might think this is just a food story. But it's not. Because the most powerful protection for your brain isn't a vegetable. It isn't a smoothie. It isn't even a perfectly balanced diet. It's awareness. See, after 60, your body stops whispering and starts requiring. The kidneys filter differently. The liver slows. The brain becomes more sensitive to pressure, hydration, even the timing of nutrients. Something that was harmless at 40 can now quietly shift your chemistry at 70. And yet, most people are still eating like they're decades younger, because no one told them the rules have changed. That's the danger. It's not the garlic. It's the garlic stacked on blood thinners. It's not the salad. It's the raw greens eaten too late at night. It's not the eggplant. It's the cumulative effect of tight vessels, low hydration, and slow circulation. That's why you need to pay attention, not to fads, not to fear, but to your own biology. Because when you wake up dizzy or foggy or numb, it may not be aging. It may be a sign your body is trying to adapt, asking for a new kind of support. So instead of chasing miracle cures, slow down, listen, ask. And instead of assuming healthy means harmless, start asking, is this right for me, now? Because clarity doesn't come from knowing everything. It comes from knowing enough to pause, to question, to choose wisely. And that kind of wisdom? It's stronger than any pill, and more lasting than any trend. If you've made it this far, it means you care. Not just about eating healthy, but about living clearly, moving freely, staying independent. So here's what I want you to do tonight. Look at what's on your dinner plate. Is it working for you? Or quietly making things harder? Are you still following the same habits from 20 years ago, hoping they still fit? Tonight, skip the late-night raw salad. Choose something warm, gentle, cooked. Don't go to bed with a belly full of good intentions that your body can't process anymore. And tomorrow morning, listen. How do you feel when you wake up? Alert or groggy? Calm or anxious? That first hour will tell you everything. Because the goal here isn't fear, it's clarity. Instead of living with worry, live with awareness. Instead of wondering what's safe, learn what's right for you. And if this video helped, share it with someone you love. A spouse, a parent, a friend over 60 who still thinks natural means always safe. Because what you do today could change their tomorrow, and yours.